Good evening and welcome to tonight's show. I'm your host, Tina Dawson, the owner of True Blue Designs, and it is truly an honor to be before you this evening. Please like and share and let everyone know that we are on the air. We are streaming live simultaneously on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel at True Blue Designs. Now, tonight's guest is no stranger to this show. We interviewed him February of 2021. And so if you want to know more in-depth information about Mr. Jones, then I'm going to invite you to go to our YouTube channel and you can search his name, Antoinne D. or the Jones, and all of his information will come up about him being a celebrity photographer. But tonight, we're going to talk about one of his special projects that he has created a couple of years ago. And it's an award show. So today he's back to discuss his upcoming Pearly Awards event scheduled for June 2023. This event highlights excellence within the Divine Nine Black Greek fraternity and sorority community focused organizations. So please help me give a warm welcome to tonight's guest, Antoinne D. Jones. Hey, you. Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Yes, there we go. You unmuted
There
me.
we go. Look, me and this mute button.
I got you. How you doing today?
I am doing well. How are you?
Good. You know me doing what entrepreneurs do, moving and shaking, trying to be amazing, you know, and be around amazing people like you.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. You've been up to a lot since the last time I interviewed you. So I'm so glad you said yes to get back on the show so we can talk about your upcoming project. Well, before we get started, before we talk about that, I'm gonna get you to tell the viewers a little bit about yourself.
Well, first I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. AOS is my chapter. I'm also the international chair for the Sigma Fathers Committee. So my goal over the last year and a half, going on 2 years, was to find and create resources for the fathers of the organization. So with that being said, I'm heavily involved in that. Then I have my magazine, Majority Greek Magazine, which leads us up into the main topic of today is that we have basically an Essence Award, an Essence magazine for Greeks.
Okay.
So since we have an Essence magazine for Greeks that highlights what these members are doing, why not create a award show, a Essence style award show, a bead style award show, a Rice style award show that would give our people that day to honor one another, to see Black excellence in full form, and that's what I'm doing. So December 12th was the first one. We wanted to kick it up to June so we can get all the organizations before they go into that summer break or summer recess, and just bring something amazing, to Atlanta, and then ultimately, start taking it to other cities and states.
Okay, so before you created the magazine, you are a celebrity photographer. So let's talk a little bit about that. You're a photographer. Give the audience a little bit about where you're from, and then how did you tell us about your journey to becoming a photographer? You can briefly, because I'm going to have them to go back to your
Right.
but I just want to give them the journey to how we got to the actual award show.
Gotcha. So we went from started photography 18 years ago in Myrtle Beach, moved back to North Carolina, Fayetteville, because I went to Fayetteville State University, so HBCU, CIAA, Pride right there. I was there for a while, about 10 and a half years in photography, and I hit my ceiling, so I was like, okay, let's move to Atlanta. So I shipped everything, me and my daughter, my son stayed in North Carolina, me and my daughter, we started her high school and everything. here in the Atlanta area, and I started my photography journey there. So I was on it, like on everybody, like I'm a dope photographer. Give me a chance, give me a chance, give me a chance, give me a chance. And I started getting those chances. Started working with magazines and celebrities and all that good stuff. And that's what led me to Majority Greek, because I was shooting celebrities and people, and I noticed, I was like, wow, a lot of these people are Greek. And then on
Oh,
top of that, I was like, wow, it's 200 plus Greek chapters in Atlanta metro area. So that's tens of thousands of Greeks just in this city. So why not create a platform just for us? Because once we get to that alumni chapter stage, you're not always wearing paraphernalia all the time. You're not always jumping around. You're not always hooping high, blue flying, when Z fighting and all that stuff, or all the other stuff. You're just at work, and you're doing the work for your organizations. So let me and my people shine the light on that are just really doing excellent stuff. And it is so many people doing so many amazing things in Greek life. But if we really look back, most of our politicians, our judges, our doctors, our lawyers, our gym teachers, our science teachers, these people are in a D9. So why not give another platform just to celebrate that excellence?
yeah, I always say that these are people serving the community that just so happen to be Greek. So they're not Greek people serving the community. They're regular, ordinary people that are doing good work in the community that need to be highlighted, and just so happen they are Greek. So talk a little bit about, and you touched on it, but talk a little bit in depth about the start of Majority Greek magazine, and how can people subscribe and all of that.
Okay, well, everything is at majoritygreek.com. I'm pretty consistent on branding. My degree's in marketing, so even on
Okay.
I'm
Mhm.
always on like branding. So Majority Greek everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, majoritygreek.com. You'll find us there. But it really was like, let's make it happen. So we started pre-COVID.
Okay.
Everybody started like, oh man, that's Majority Greek, Majority Greek. We had our launch parties, we had cover reveals, and everything was going smooth until COVID hit and smack. Then boom.
Hmm.
Okay, and everybody just like, when everybody went in COVID, you thought it was gonna be easy to come back out of COVID, but you realize like this was a little bit harder of a task, because if you went into COVID with your job at AT&T or you know Kroger or whatever like that, when you came out, your bosses and your managers and all those were still the same people for the most part.
Right.
But when you come out of 2 years in focus on Greek life, international president is different, regional director is different, state director is different, chapter president is different. All the contacts you had were really transitioning on to something else, or they weren't there anymore. So it's basically just like starting this whole magazine over again. That's why I added the Pearly Awards on top of that. It's like people kind of know, okay, I heard that before, but we
Hmm.
haven't seen it in a while because, obviously COVID just kind of just, wrecking ball everything, but people still kind of heard of it. So it was easier to say, okay, let's add this very, very visible event on top of the magazine. So when we bring the magazine back and the award show comes in, people will say, okay, that's it. That's the level of excellence that we need, because I'm really, really big on it being visually excellent. The
Hmm.
first award show was excellent. The 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 venue was excellent. The nominees and honorees were excellent. The people were excellent. Everything visually was excellent, because that's how I pay my respect and my homage to all these hard workers, because I'm going to give them like the best. So if you happen to pick up a Majority Greek magazine, and go online and look and subscribe to it, it's going to look like it should be next to Essence magazine. When you come to an event, it's going to look like it's the Grammys or whatever. You're going to have all those same amenities there, because that's just me. That's how I feel. As strong as I feel about my membership in the Phi Beta Sigma is as strong as I feel about my craft and photography and anything I put my hands on.
So let me ask you this: when with the articles that are in the magazine, how do you select who to highlight in the magazine?
Well, a lot of it is really just people submitting. PR people are submitting. People are going to the website and saying, "Hey, man, this individual here, or you should check out this person there," or it's really a lot of word of mouth, but it is a lot of PR publicists saying, "Hey man, look at my client," because we started internationally. I kind of reeled it in the last year to be Atlanta based content, but
Okay.
we'll find out that at the end of at the start of summer, we'll go into once the Pearly Awards hit. This is the secret, so nobody knows this yet. So you getting the scoop, you getting the real life scoop. People need to tune in, they need to share this, but
All right.
it'll go. It'll be a city edition and an international edition, and then the magazine will spread that way. So
Okay.
we'll have the Majority Greek magazine will be the international magazine, and then you have Majority Greek Atlanta, where that'll be Atlanta focused content, and then
Okay.
other cities which we'll announce at the award show too. That will kind of
Okay.
those. So as the magazine goes, the award show will go to.
Uh-huh.
So we'll go Atlanta, then we'll go to Charlotte. We'll go to Dallas, Houston, Chicago. So those as the award show goes, the magazine will go also. So you'll be
Okay.
an overall blanket magazine, and you'll also be able to have specific content, in your city, once we start growing this thing.
So specific content to highlight those people in that particular state or
Yeah,
city. Okay.
right.
So out of all of the articles that you wrote about people, what was the one that really either touched you or one that was very memorable?
I don't know because I mean, again, it's kind of amazing for the most part. I was shooting, I was creating and shooting and writing like 80% of all the issues.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, it meant a lot. It means even more now that I had Chris Ray in the first issue.
Did you?
Now with that said, how awesome that was is because Chris came in at ECU when I was at Fayetteville State, so I've seen Chris, and,
Okay.
and then he was the mayor for the adjacent city next to Fayetteville, so I got to know him from that level. And then I've known his family. We've done photo shoots and things with the family and all that. So I grew as like a family member on that aspect. And then boom, we fast forward 8 years, and now he's the international president of the organization. So
Right.
that's like
Wow.
so that is really awesome to not only say, hey man, we made the right decision. We highlighted somebody that was doing excellent things.
Mm-hmm.
Then you fast forward 4 or 5 years, and now this person that we said was doing excellent things is now the international president for the organization. Like how dope is that? So
Yeah, and his next run is lieutenant governor. So he
right,
already
right,
checked that out the bag. So
right,
I'm
right,
not
right,
spilling any beans, but
right.
yeah.
So that's amazing. But again, there are so many other individuals on a local, state, regional, international level. Like it was an Omega in Jersey that had his own vegan toothpaste line, and like things. You
Wow.
know, man, we really I just read an article leaving the studio that said it was really disconcerting. It said uh, HBCU's graduation rates are only 35%.
Really?
Right, when the nation is at like 50 or 60 average.
Mm.
Okay, cool. But that 35% is still higher than the average of Black people or people of color graduated from any other university.
Mm.
So HBCUs are important. Greek Greek
Yeah.
Greek culture or D9 culture is embedded into HBCU culture
That's
as well.
right.
It is important. So what we're doing here is important to highlight, to show, Black and brown kids that, hey man, this is important. This is needed, and these people that are in these organizations really are on the ground, doing work, and
Mm-hmm.
they need help. They need support. They need little girl that's outside playing basketball to see, hey man, you could be the vice president of the United States of America.
Right.
Bro, like what are we saying? Like we have a member
Yep.
of our organization that is the second in command of the free
Mm-hmm.
world. Like that
Yep.
is incredible. All these judges and representatives and all this stuff, they represent us and us. It's
Mm-hmm.
outstandingly amazing.
Yeah. So Majority Greek magazine is 4 years old.
Yeah, about 4 years old.
Yeah, about 4 years old. Okay, and then the Pearly Awards is how it was last year or December the first time you did it.
Yeah, December 10th was the first, like the pilot, like the okay. I know people are visual, especially our people,
Mm-hmm.
so they needed to see evidence of what the potential of this show could be. So again, I think I did some of everything that night. I set up. I think I helped set up the room. I designed the room. I created the step and repeats. I did some photography that night. I did some announcing presentations. Like I was like, I need to get everything that I need to get so people can see what I see in here, because that's the
Right.
hardest thing, is to get people to understand what's in
Your
somebody else's
vision.
brain.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
They can't
Your
see your
vision.
vision until you lay it out for them and put bells and whistles on it and sprinkles and cherry on top. People need to see it,
Yeah.
and now they see it. Now it's like, oh wow, what do you need help with? And again, all I need help with really is just getting more people, just shine the light over here and say, look, go look over there, go to the website, nominate people, get some tickets. You need butts and seats. Obviously, we need sponsorship. That always helps, but I need people there, or people allow me to get in front of them just so I can do what we're doing here, just talking
Right.
about it and letting people understand what it really is. Because if you see a flyer on it, that might not move you,
Right.
but you get me into a room when I say, hey, look, I want to honor people that are doing some of the most important things in our communities. Help me. That I know one person that every time you see this soror, she moving. She got a community center. She doing this. She doing. Everybody knows those people. All we want to do is just highlight them.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like the show. Our show is to, allow people, give people a platform to talk about who they are, what they do, and give the inside perspective of what they know. So it's kind of similar to me. It's
Yep.
kind of similar to the show because you're giving them a platform to highlight people that are doing some great work, right? Because everybody knows something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you had an issue in life that taught you not to go back down that road, you still know not to go down that road, and that's information you can share with other people, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I totally agree. So let's go back to the magazine. So it's Majority Greek. I think I'm gonna go ahead and type it in here. So it's not the Majority Greek. Is it just regular Majority Greek?
MajorityGreek.com and Instagram. Yeah, Instagram is Majority Greek.
Okay.
Facebook is Majority Greek Magazine. So
okay, so I added it, and I'm scrolling your information at the bottom. Okay, so on the web, I've already checked out the website, but we're going to walk them through. So when you go to the website, there's two things that you can do on the website. You can either subscribe. Yeah, you can subscribe to get the editions electronically, or you can pay for a paper copy. Correct?
Right. So you can have an option to kind of like do a paper subscription.
Printed copy, not a paper copy.
Right.
Printed copy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Printed subscription. You'll also get the digital subscription with the print subscription. But that gives you the opportunity to either have it in your hand, or most people, they want to kind of just say, look at it on their phone and say, this is what we got going on. So that's really important.
Okay. And then, so also on the website, it had where you can buy tickets to the Pearly Awards.
Right.
And let's talk about how people can submit. So can you nominate yourself, or other people need to nominate you? How does that work?
Either or, it doesn't matter. So we still have, today is the 10th, so we still have about 2 weeks where people the nominations are still open.
Okay.
So go to majoritygreek.com, you kind of click on the Pearly Awards tab, scroll down, and that form is embedded into the page. You can type your information and why you feel this member of Kappa Alpha Psi should be Kappa of the Year, why you feel this member should be Zeta Phi Beta of the Year, and so forth. And it could be 10 people. You can nominate somebody from each organization. You can nominate 2 or 3 from organization. You can nominate yourself. We have an independent panel, really an NPAC in North Carolina, that does all the actual going over. So once the 24th hits, at the end of that, at midnight, we lock that down. We print out all the forms and all the submissions, and then we send that to our Panhandling Council in North Carolina, and they do all their judging.
Okay,
So it's unbiased. And then when we go, So then when we go to North Carolina, then the people, a panhandling council or a chapter in Georgia will
Right.
do the judges because they don't know these people. They're unbiased. They don't care. They don't have any skin in the game. So
Like,
can't,
oh,
you
yeah.
denominated your friend. No, we didn't. I don't know these folks. Just like you don't know these people. The people that are doing these tallies, we want, we're highlighting people, but we still want it to be fair. And that was the fairest way I could think of to make sure that it ain't just a buddy thing.
Right.
Or they know Dwayne, so I know a whole lot of people. That's why I don't want to judge it, because I don't want my friends mad at me. Why you pick her over me? I don't got no time for that. Like so when you go in and do your nominations, you filling out your resume of why you think you should be alpha of the year, and then somebody in North Carolina, they're gonna look through that and they're gonna really judge it. But a sticking point I want to go back to on the membership is that we really do try to pull out $3 every time somebody subscribes, whether digitally or print copy wise, to kind of pull into a scholarship fund.
Okay.
So that's kind of like one of the other sides of the award show too. It's like it's all happy. We're going to nominate people, and they're going to get some amazingly, beautifully designed awards. But we want to raise some scholarship dollars as well. I want.
Okay. And what does the scholarship money go towards?
So and they don't know it yet, but by the time at the end of the day, my ultimate goal is to have up to 9 people get $1,000 scholarship every award show that we do.
Okay, so is it the people who are winners they get the scholarship, or is it college students who?
It's going to be a mix of college and high school students. So right now, we have about 30 to 35 complimentary tickets that we're giving out, and we have a couple of nonprofits that kind of vetted the students, so they know that they're Greek, or they know that they're rising freshmen with outstanding resumes that are going to come to the award show for free.
Okay.
They're coming to the award show for free, thinking they're going to see which is still, everything is like 2-3-fold. We want them to come see what Greek life is like.
Right.
We want undergrads to come see what alumni Greek life is like, right? We want them to transition from undergrad to alumni chapter ASAP. We want people that aren't members of fraternities and fraternities to see what we're doing in real life, other than what the mainstream media may see. Is we jumping around, we partying, we hazing, we doing all that, which we don't do, we don't condone. And then boom, those kids are gonna be there having fun, enjoying themselves. And, hey, come on down, Tina. And said, what's going on here? And the big check come out, you got $1,000. Like, oh wow, that's some really amazing. Yeah. That's what we're trying to do. So I think right now we have like 2 to 4 scholarships already kind of pledged.
Okay.
I'm going to keep working towards that. So whether it's $500 or $1,000, I really want to ultimately end up with 9 $1,000 scholarships each show. And we'll get to it, but we got to start somewhere. So if it's a $500 scholarships or 2 $1,000 scholarships, we're going to get, somebody's going to walk out of there with a big check on June 24th. And that's just really going to make me like super, super happy.
Yeah. That's awesome, because whether it's 500, 100, or 200, everything with these kids and the prices of school and supplies and all of that stuff, every penny, dollar, quarter, everything helps. So yeah, so that's good that you're giving back. That's another way for you to give back. So let me ask you this. So with the awards, do you give out 9 awards? Is it 1 award per D9 organization, or are there categories? Are the awards per category, or per category per D9? How are the awards?
Okay, so we have 3 separate awards.
Okay.
2 are like Pearly Awards team selected, and then the one that we were talking about on the website is the one that is nominatable. So of the year, so we have 9 of the year. So the whole D9, Sigma of the year, Alpha of the year, Iota of the year, Kappa of the year. That's the nominatable categories. We close that on May 24th, and then we go through all those. They go through all those forms and all that, and they decide what's what. Push that to the side. That's the of the years. We push that to the side. Then we have 2 categories that are like hand-picked, hand-selected, and we do take references on that. Like, so if you know somebody that falls in these categories, it would be cool for you to email us and say, hey man, Soror Kroger is like amazing. So here goes these awards. The number 1 overall greatest award is the Pearl Award.
Okay.
That's 20 years sustained excellence in your fraternity sorority life and 20 plus years sustained excellence in your career field.
Okay.
So that, just to give you an example of how that flows, the 4 people that we had that received Pearl Awards in December were Soror Selena Johnson, 20 plus years in the sorority, 20 plus years sustained excellence in the music industry, right?
Okay.
Rashawn Ali, 20 plus years in Alpha Kappa Alpha, 20 plus years in broadcast media, doing her thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Pastor Dr. Jamal Bryant, 20 plus years in Kappa Alpha Psi, 20 plus years in religious leadership, holding it down.
Did he come and get his award? Cause that's my pastor.
Actually, his God, what's his like second in command came. I can't recall his name right now, but he came and accepted on his behalf because he
was it Pastor Lemons?
That doesn't ring a bell. I don't really know.
Was it a female or a male?
But it was like
It was a male or a female?
It was a male. And then the same with Dr. Kevin James from Morris Brown.
Okay.
He sent his second in command too, and 20 plus years in Omega Psi Phi, 20 plus years in educational leadership. Like, it was some heavy hitters. So that's the Pearl Awards. That's that Lifetime Achievement Award type. Okay. Then we have the Blazing Pearl, where they're like people in their fraternities or sororities that's really, really like on fire right now. Like Jaleesa Raquel or Jaleesa Cook, she's over Media Girls Network, Sigma Gamma Rho. She's like, you have a international network of Black women in media, and y'all doing y'all thing. Who else did we have in that? Delapo, Eric Antola, amazing brother, Kappa Alpha Psi. He's an entrepreneur. He's helping people with movie productions and all that stuff. So that's the Blazing Pearl Award. So
okay,
Pearl Award, Blazing Pearls, those are like selected or suggested, to us. We vet them, see what they really have going on. Do they meet those requirements? And then the nominatable category of the year, Sigma of the year, Alpha of the year, Kappa of the year. Those are the ones that people can say, hey man, my chapter sister is doing her thing, or she won Soror of the year in our chapter, so we're gonna submit her name, and then we're gonna go through those nominations and see who we feel it really represents. But it would be nice to have those people come and share with us, this, because you just never know once you get these people in the room,
right?
What can happen and what kind of relationships and can be built from there, and also what might spark those undergrads or those high school students to be even greater than what we are now. Like, that's what I want. I want to see with technology going the way it is. I want to see these high school kids and these college kids what they're gonna do in 10 years or 20 years. That's what's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. I was going to say too, because it seems like it's a good environment to network, because you have people from all D9 coming together, and so in this one at this one event, so it seems like it's going to be a good opportunity for people to network outside of their organization, right? Yep. Because these people are doing things that are helping the community and advancing different platforms in the community, and we can all network with these people on a personal level or in our organizations to help advance their mission and help advance ours. So I think this is a good opportunity to really have all of D9 in a room and at this scale of an event, right? And if nothing else, is a good networking opportunity.
Just on some grown and sexy too. Again, we talked about this before the show, but like, since I'm in entertainment industry as a photographer, like what I want to see as a 45-year-old man, is something that I can sit back, be all sexy, have a suit and tie on, and a red carpet, and really enjoy, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because again, these are college educated folks. These are
Mm-hmm.
affluent folks.
Mm-hmm.
These are people that you want to be in a room with, and really get to meet and understand and bring. Like my daughter's going into her senior year at Georgia State. Come on down. You need to, you're a film major. There's people in here that would like to would support you. You got to open your mouth and and talk to these people and get to know some people, because you just never know who you
Yeah.
might meet. But it's some movers and shakers in Atlanta that should be there, and they will
And,
be.
and teaching her also, we are our brand, right? And so it teaches her to learn how to market her brand of herself,
Mm-hmm.
right? To sell herself, and putting her in those environments that she can practice to do that when she graduates, because those 12 months are going to go by quick. Your daughter and my daughter are on the same course. I didn't know they entered in at the same time. But yeah, they got to learn how to market themselves. Now, you just mentioned again about being a celebrity photographer. And I was on your page and I saw where you did a shoot for the Brat, and I think it was I think it had to deal with the baby shower or her birthday, one of the two.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it was the So we went to the again, having a magazine. You want to show face. You want to cover newsworthy event.
Right.
So we went to the Brat Loves Judy season 3 premiere. They had it at the Regal Cinemas downtown Atlantic Station. What's that like? Yeah, they
Okay,
had,
because I know I saw that they had the baby shower, and
right.
then I saw that she did something for the Brat's birthday, but this was something totally different.
Right. This was kind of
Oh,
showcase the show coming out. The new season is coming out, so they made a big fanfare with the red carpet, and they all watched the season premiere in the theater that day, and it was really really great. So I got to, again, same thing, man. You go to events and you look up, and it really are D9 members everywhere. Everywhere. The publicists, the actresses. Like I saw my buddy. I shot a sister circle when they were all there. So I got to run into Trina Braxton.
okay,
She's on year. She's like almost about to complete year 2 of being an AKA. A lot of people didn't know that. So we got to
okay,
take a picture together and talk for a little bit. So we'll kind of double back to her sometime this year and see what she has going on, whether it be a IG live interview or magazine feature. Um, it's just amazing to see that, again. You never know
yeah.
until you ask, because it's like, wow, I didn't know you were people. People on my Facebook page like, I didn't know she was AKA, like, that's your soror. I thought she's supposed to know these things. Like, that's your soror. She's like, is she a neo? I was like, no, she can't be a neo. She got to be at least one in. Like, she been rocking AKA for a minute, but that was so cool because when Sister Circle was on, she was like the only one left that wasn't Greek. Because
Okay,
you had
okay,
Selena was a Zeta, then you had Rashawn
right.
was an AKA,
Yeah,
Daquan was a Delta. So it
right.
was like we was like, let's go, come on. And they would always get it like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And now, yeah, she made her decision, and that's cool. That was really cool.
Yeah, because you would in the first week of January, you could really figure out who was who, because they were popping off doing when their Founders Day came, they would
Mhm.
do something for their Founders Day. And then I thought that was nice that I saw a picture where I think it was at maybe the end of that week or something like that, that all of them that were Greek took a picture together, and I saw
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I saw that
Yeah.
on the internet. Yeah.
And even Essence came along, and they did like a mock cover or something like that with Vivica Fox and all them on it. All the really 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 heavy hitters that came through this year for all the organization. You looked at that list of names with Fantasia and Vivica
Oh
Fox,
yeah, I saw that.
Shirley. I was like, man, this is like, wow. Like, this is, the more as time goes by, the more and more, like, in my mind, I would love for the Greek life to get back to what it was when I remember first hearing about it. It was like, it was just one of the most awesomest, dopest things to be like, man, one day I'm gonna be that. And not that it was because it was something that bettered me,
Mm-hmm.
but it was something that I knew for a fact that those people were impacting the community like
Mm-hmm.
on a mass scale, you know.
Right.
Because again, I'm a black man. It means more to me because it is almost like trying to find a needle in a haystack, trying to get multiple black men in one place to do anything, like
Mm-hmm.
anything of substance, like how could we get black men together? And that's one of my, kind of like my personal initiatives outside of mental health is like
Right.
how can we help black and brown men get get further along than what this world is giving us right now. So being a member of this organization doesn't impact my social status. It impacts my ability to be around like-minded, like-focused men of color for the most part to do some greater things in the urban community, because we need to do more stuff in the urban community. Like that's what we're lacking, is the black men in leadership on all levels, family level, political level, whatever, job level, especially, because we're like the last, and now.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we impact that? So that's what I do as far as being involved in fraternity life is, hey man, if I could do my part to try to get, black men to a better place, then, that's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to ask the viewers if you have any questions for Antoine. Put them in the comments, and we'll flash them on the screen and give him an opportunity to answer your questions. Yeah, this is great. I told you that you picked a good time. I have to check my calendar, but you picked a good time to have the Pearly Awards in June, because it's 2 days before my birthday.
Yeah. it's gonna be good.
Because it's a formal event, right?
Right, formal events. We have let me see. Look, just driving by this, you see Zeta tags and Sigma tags, what kind of tags all the time. But it's a formal show. So come grown and sexy. There's general admission ticket, which is like a seated area up on the second floor balcony, and the standing room only part of the second floor balcony, and then the ground floor is going to be like VIP. So we have technically a plated meal, like
Okay.
a 2 to 3 course plated meal that's going to be served. So I'm in the home stretch trying to make sure that we get all this stuff done in a way that is to my liking, to make sure that it's on brand with all the other businesses that I have. Like, it has to be on brand.
Right.
But it's going to be a good show. It's going to be laid out, and again, we take it back where it's still in infancy form. It's still only really year one, you know.
Because it was 6 months ago when you did the first one.
Right, you're right. We ain't even been. It was like, as soon as I finished the first one, I was like, okay, I think we need to move this back up to June or July. July ain't no way in the world to do nothing in July. No way. I mean, we got
Yeah,
conflict.
it's too much going
It was
on
just
in
no way.
July.
Too much in July. So I was like, okay, we'll do June, because I didn't want to do August and back to school, and then we start running into homecoming season. I was like, so
Right. Yeah.
okay,
I
let's
think June is a good. I
June is
think the third weekend in June is. I
June.
think.
You gotta have some fun either way.
I think the third weekend in June is a good time for you.
So I'm excited about it. I think people will enjoy it. They can go back and look at the video footage from last year and be like, yo, it was clean. We just had it. We had it in Gwinnett because I was, the majority of my time in Atlanta, I lived in Gwinnett, so I knew
Yeah.
a hideaway spot that was like, oh my God, where did you find this from? And it was like a beautiful, beautiful place.
Okay.
Now we got a place in Decatur that we can make our own. And when people
How many people does that place hold? Because
that
we were just there the other evening.
Right, so 300, but I think we'll be right at like 250. We'll have like 150 on the floor, and then like 100 on the balcony level.
Okay.
Because the balcony, like, across seats like 50, and then we'll have
Yeah.
like 40 or so standing, because 35 of those are going to be the kids,
Okay,
the young
gotcha.
adults. I don't want to call them kids because a
Yeah.
lot of them are about to be grown, but the students, will be
Mhm.
able to kind of view from the balcony and the stairs and all that kind of stuff. We will have opportunity for our signature drink. So we'll have a signature drink thanks to Revanche, which is a cognac brand that has really been supporting us from day one.
Mm.
Um, get it popping is one of our sponsors that was with us from day one. So they will have the balloon arch that goes with the custom design set that I'm working on. So we'll have a set that's built into the award show. So when we're videotaping and recording, you
It'll
know,
be, it'll
it'd
be
be like,
pretty
ooh,
nice.
this is like, who thought of this? Like I did. I thought I've been kind of trying to pull out all the stops because I want everyone to see just how much it means to me and to the community. Again, we talking about coming out of COVID, and a lot of people that were here before COVID aren't here anymore. So let's give people their flowers
Yeah,
anytime we can now.
that's
And
true.
that's why I'm on photography hard. Like you ain't taking no family pictures. You
Hmm.
take family pictures of your grandma, grandpa, cousins, aunties, uncles, because hey man, it's like everybody not promised to be here.
Right.
Next holiday, next Christmas, next 4th of July, like get all the memories you can. Everything ain't gonna work on the cell phone. Get some professional, real deal memories because that's all you're gonna have. Sometimes when you
Yeah.
start looking for, damn, I can't remember. Like go back to some real professional pictures because that it's not just the pictures, but it's that the process.
And it's the memories.
Right, the process and memories that you get from taking pictures with grandma, taking pictures with the kids before they go off to college, and you have this family picture. So we have that built into my family. So
Right.
when my sons come down for spring break or summer, then we automatically do a family photo shoot, and
Right.
we just get wicked with it now. We got all kind of crazy. We add, you know, we made family crest and all that kind of stuff. So we have a family crest. That's something that I recommend families do is create y'all a family crest. And y'all know what the meaning is, and y'all know what the colors and everything stands for. But
Hmm.
we got to get back to that family life. Get back to that that 1980s, early 90s family, type thing. With even with how Greek life was in the 80s and 90s, like let's get back to that, but futurize it.
Yeah, I was gonna say because some of the 80s and 90s we leave back
Yeah,
then.
we need to add that flair to the great parts of our past.
Yeah, yeah. I think that I think that the main difference between the 80s and 90s and current is the love and respect for the organization to me was deeper
Right.
back then. When I came through in 1988, one of the things that I learned was don't ever embarrass yourself. And then the second thing was don't embarrass us. It wasn't don't embarrass us because embarrassing us is going to embarrass you. It was always about don't embarrass yourself. Now that you are a part of an organization, it's not about you. It's about, those that are connected to you. And so I've taken that and I've embedded that into my children. So whether you do good or bad, your life is not about you. It's about those that are connected to you. And I think that has kind of been lost. And you can tell that it's been lost from some of the things you end up seeing on social media. There's just certain things that we just didn't do. That I'll tell you one, for example, back in the day, when you had a pair of jeans and they had a hole in them, our parents would put a patch on them, and those turned out to be your play clothes. There was just a certain image that when you walked out of the house, your parents, I don't care what economic status it was, when you walked out the house, you looked as presentable as you could. So now society has sold us, right, that walking around with torn clothes is fashion, and if they want us if they want to really make money, you sell it to our community because we're the
Right.
number one consumers in the world,
Right.
right? And so when it came out, I was like, okay, we as a community have fallen for this okie doke again, right? With many other okie dokes. And so I had to sit my children down and I had to explain to them, what Sally and Sarah and Becky and John and Brandon do, that's them. But as for me and my children, we don't do that. And I explained to them. And then there's, like, my son had a pair of ripped jeans, but the top layer was ripped, right? So you can still see the jean material, right? But it was ripped. And I don't have a problem with that because your skin is not showing. But I had to really explain to them, I think what's wrong with society today is that there's no more big mamas. Big mama now is 35 with a miniskirt trying to get in the club.
Right. She's still
But
twerking.
I'm talking about the big mom with the rocking chair that
Right.
has on the wig that can really tell you about why it is so important for you to be the best that you can, because Big Mom, Papa, and all of these people fought, died for you to have the right to do what you have, right? And how it was so important. Community was so important, right? And that if people are going to take you seriously, right, you got to dress the part. And I try to tell people, to these young people, that they don't understand the difference between entertainment and the real world.
Right.
Right? Because they want to live out what they see as entertainment, not understanding that that's what these people do. That's how they get paid.
Right.
But when they come to the table to negotiate, I promise you, they don't come to the table like that.
Right.
Because we're not on the other side of the table.
Right. And that's our fault. And again, even going back to that, it was like the people that we're talking about highlighting are the people that are still in those fights for our rights. They're are helping serve our community. But the real issue is that, the world is just desensitized. So nothing is frightening anymore. Nothing is, oh my God, like I can't believe that. Like I was just talking to one of my colleagues that I met at an event on Saturday, and he has a basketball league. He's a videographer, but he started a basketball league because he played semi-pro ball. So they're trying to get people that may not have made it to the pros or MB, G League level,
Right.
give opportunity to be in the league so that maybe they can get to that level and get to the next level. Okay, cool.
And there's a lot of people.
Right.
There's a lot of people in that status.
So I was like, so let me tell you, I was like, how many pro basketball games have you been to, like, in the last year or so? He said 2. I said, I'm gonna tell you how desensitized the world has been. Have you been to a basketball game? Pro, WNBA. Okay, so they have like those jump balls things. You probably seen it on TV. The people that they run all the way from one end and they bounce off a trampoline and they flip in the air 17 times. Then somebody else.
Yeah, I've seen
people don't even blink at that anymore. Like, that's boring to people.
Yeah.
I can't go to the jumpy house with my kids and do 17 flips and not land on my neck and break my neck. That's something amazing. That ain't easy. It is not easy. You got people in your own organization that can't do a simple step, let alone flip in the air 17 times, bounce the basketball off the ground, somebody catch it in the air, spin around in the circle, throw it off the backboard, bounce it back off the ground, then somebody come and dunk it, all while jumping on the trampoline. That ain't easy. That's something amazing.
Yeah, that's a skill.
It doesn't even matter anymore because people are like, I've seen that before, because it's so much information with these phones and these computers that's so readily accessible that nothing's scary anymore. Nothing's exciting anymore. Nothing is, wow, that's totally amazing. Everything is just like, I could do that. Oh, I've seen that before. Like, wow, like that's not. I'm teaching my kids, even my the soon to be 21-year-old next month. Hey man, you gotta enjoy life. Like, you gotta really, really take it into consideration that a lot of stuff you see, one, ain't real.
Right.
You shoot with celebrities all the time. Oh my God, that's so awesome. Guess what? They still put on their pants
They're
the same way,
people.
and they got probably more issues than we got because they have to maintain. They have to maintain that. If you go broke or you lose your job or something like that, or you have an issue, you could go, you could go somewhere. But that people are literally looking at them all day, every day. Every time they sneeze, somebody got something to say.
Yeah.
If they wear the wrong color shoes or somebody zooming in on their phone to make.
See, this is the thing people don't understand, that there's a price to pay for being famous. There is a price that these people pay to be there. And if you get them, if you can get them on a one-on-one conversation and they open up to you, you will find that out, right?
Right.
Because the more famous these people are, the less I was going to say the less personal space, but the less privacy that they have. And sometimes these people want to be normal. And I'm gonna give you an example of it right quick. So I know someone who is a Black civil engineer here in Atlanta, and somebody out of the blue referred him to a former Falcons football player because he needed some engineering work done. And so he had the meeting. He went and met the former football player, and he had to tell himself, okay, he's just a person. So he's just going to be just a regular person. And when they finished the conversation, he said that the football player had thanked him at the end. He said, I just want to thank you for just allowing me to be normal, right? And you wasn't celebrity awestruck or anything like that. You handled your business, and because of that, he got more business, right? And these are just regular people, but it's good that you have created a platform where it's a platform of excellence, because the fact that you have made it like that tells them or shows them the seriousness behind your vision, right? Because it's not just thrown together, and it's not, for a lack of a better word, urbanized. It's a event of excellence. And I'm not saying that being urban is not less than that, but I'm just saying the platform that you created was really to show them how important what they do in the community is, that somebody nominated them and thought that their work was excellent. So if you're going to get this award, let this award show be as professional and glamorous as you could make it to be. So when they do come, they're going to be shocked.
Sure.
They're going to be shocked, because your Majority Greek magazine is in its infancy stage, and so is the award show. But I just hope that this interview helps you get the word out. We're going to ask the viewers to share. The date of the event is June the 24th in Decatur, Georgia. You go to majoritygreek.com to get all the information about the magazine, about the award show. To buy the tickets, go to majoritygreek.com. And then let me ask you this: if they want to book you for photography services, what piece of information here's the best way to get in contact with you? Is it email or?
Man, all those things. Again, we're always attached. As entrepreneurs, we're attached to these phones. So, I mean, email, Instagram, Facebook, inbox, DM. I'm pretty swift on getting back to people, because that's what I do. That's my creative outlet. That's the way. I mean, that's what God talks to me about for 2023 is anybody connected to me, I should make sure they look like they're supposed to be there. So all I can do is, so if you come to me for a photo, know that I'm gonna make you look like you should be sitting next to Bill Gates. You should be on the shelf at Books a Million. Like whatever you do, I'm gonna do my best to make you look like you should be where you want to be. And that is on a level that you should be able to accomplish your dreams. Whether it's a book, family pictures, a magazine spread. Like I want us as the people, especially, to walk in the spirit of excellence, and we supposed to be there, wherever that be. The rooms, the doors. We supposed to kick those things in this year. So that's my mission, um, especially for this year. That's my word: is utilization. Like
Hmm.
be used properly in 2023.
Now, let me ask you this. So, what are some of your photography services? You can do headshots. I know you do the family photos, but you can do headshots. You just mentioned book covers. So, you have
Right.
a variety of different services that you offer being a photographer.
Right. There's not much that I don't do. I don't really do kind of erotic stuff. I
Right,
kind of stay away from that because I was a single dad for so long. I didn't want to have to explain that to a daughter. But
right.
I was like, "Hey, what you doing today?" Huh? You know, that ain't really helping no relationships either. But as far as
That
me,
was
what I
cool.
really love to do, I'm really a advocate for teens and young folks. So uh, college, high school graduation photos, prom photos, headshots for your job or headshots for your modeling or acting career. Um, Anything fashion. My foundation is fashion photography, so
Okay.
everything has that kind of gist to it. Weddings, event photography. So whether that be red carpet stuff, birthday parties, baby showers. I'm trying to think of anything that I'm missing that I really, really. Oh, I mean, number one, I mean, chapter chapter events like chapter headshots,
Mm-hmm. Chapter
chapter
photos.
anniversary, your line, your anniversary, anniversary, that type of stuff. Like all that
Mhm.
stuff is stuff that I really, really love doing because
Okay.
it gives me the opportunity to kind of double down and then get the word out about the magazine as well.
I'm going to give you a suggestion, and this just fell in my spirit, and I'm going to give it to you while we're on this show. So it's recorded, and when it happens and it pops off, I can get credit for it.
Okay, cool. I'm with it. I'm with it.
But once a year, maybe in May or June, do a undergrad version of the Majority Greek magazine. And the reason why I say that is because just knowing some of my daughter's friends at A&T and being able to sit down with them one-on-one and talk to them, I have been blown away by these young people. And I think if you had an undergrad edition that may come out in May or June of every year, that it may give whatever your window is getting people to nominate. But I think that really would be great, and if you could have it, could be people from all over. How many ever people you want to highlight. But I think that would be really good to talk about these young adults and their graduating and what their majors are and where they're going to end up landing. Because some of the stuff will literally blow. You already know this, but I'm telling you, it will blow your mind. Because I have to say, you majored in what? And you just got a job where? And you making how
Right. Your voice start going a little octave up
much?
when you hit it. Right.
And then I had to sit them down and I had to say, let me tell you why this is so important, right? Because again, it's one of those stories. You're where you are in the present and where you're going in the future because of what people did for you in the past. And a lot of times that's not told to them. The stories about, hey, when I graduated, I was happy if I made 45. or even 30.
Right.
And now you're making six figures. It's the same way with these kids being drafted into the NFL and NBA, and they're making millions.
Millions.
Right. But
From
look
zero
what, but look
to
what
millions.
Jordan, but look what Jordan had to do to make the money that he made.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying? And now it's basically, handed to these young people. And I pray to God that they have some classes on how to handle finances.
And that's why I almost spiraled out of control when you just said that, because again, as a marketing major and a former marketing teacher, we have lost all respect for those classes. Those are classes that are like for the bad kids now. Like, oh, we're gonna send to CTE, career and technical education. We're gonna send them over there. When why don't kids have a finance class, in an economics class, in a home ec class, and all that? Absolutely have to have that. You don't know how to balance the checkbook, like how to get on my daughter. You don't know how to balance the checkbook. You don't know how to compute sales tax. So when somebody says $15.95, you just take it for granted. You just get the money, then you don't even count the money when they give you the change back. You just put it in your pocket. But what we do that at? Like, I walked to the grocery store. We're gonna walk to the grocery store. I said, I'm gonna tell you about how much this is before we get to the register. So I'm counting in my brain. Okay, 14, 17, tax, such. Okay, it's gonna be about $125. We get to the register, $124.38. She looking like, how'd you what? Yeah, I got to take care of you. We need to know exactly how much we spending so that we can make sure that we got what we need to get. But you need to know that before you get to the register and they say $500. What if you only got $400? What are you doing? Put that back? No, you need to know how much it is.
Yeah.
Make sure, one, they're doing it right. Pay attention. So that's that. And the last thing is that what you talked about the undergrad issue is that's something that is in the works. But what is also equally important is chapters and colleges and organizations have the opportunity to contact us and work out arrangements to create their own issue.
Oh, okay.
So
That's nice.
if your 35th Zeta Version was coming and y'all wanted to do an issue of Majority Greek magazine, we can do it as a fundraiser for you, so you would get monies on the advertising and ad end. You will also get money on the subscription end, and you will still have that content.
Okay, so now that's neat.
Right. So we're working. So you could raise $10,000 or $5,000, something like that, and you're gonna retain at least half of that.
Right.
Just for doing the fundraiser. So hey, we did a magazine. We honored 7 soror from our chapter. We raised $10,000. We got to keep $6,500 of it. Plus, we still get money from subscriptions that we have, which is another $3,000. So you can see how you can raise $8,000 or $9,000, just from doing it.
I'm gonna tell you who that idea would really be good for, and I hope that they watch the show. If not, you need to send it to them. Lambda Sigma's about to turn 100.
Yeah.
And that would be an excellent idea for them, because they could highlight their 100 years in their own magazine.
Right.
And then sell copies, and people would buy it, especially because, Brother Moore's still living and he's about to turn 100.
And you know what? Where that idea originated from?
Where?
Centennial. And couldn't do it because the world was all jacked up. So
that's right. That's right.
A 100-page issue for Zeta Phi Beta that we couldn't do because COVID had just totally just messed up everything.
So but you put it out there, so the viewers, you know what, this idea would even work for a family reunion.
Right.
It really would, because if people gave you the content, you could create a magazine for a family reunion to highlight a lot of the journey of the family and the matriarchs of the family. So that is an excellent idea. That's an excellent idea. Okay, now he dropped it first on True Blue Designs presents
Right.
Inside Perspectives. He done shared so many nuggets and he done gave so many clues and
Right.
treats about what's getting ready to happen at the Pearly Awards. So we're gonna sum this up by saying thank you all for tuning in to this interview. Tonight we interviewed Antoinne D. Jones. He's not a stranger to the show. We interviewed him in February 2021, so you can actually search the YouTube channel and find his first interview. And in that interview, he went into depth about being a photographer. He loves it. His background is in marketing. And he takes you on a journey of how he got to where he is today. So that was the February 2021 interview. Tonight, we wanted to talk about his project, his baby in infancy, which is the Pearly Awards. He had the first one in December, and now 6 months later, he's doing his second Pearly Awards here in Decatur, Georgia. It's going to be on June the 24th at the Community Achievement Center off of Flat Shoals Parkway in DeKalb County. You can go to, and I'm going to put it back up here, majoritygreek.com. Majoritygreek.com. Yeah, still, nominations are still open until May 24th. So please, please, please go on there and nominate your fellow Greek person in Greekdom. Or if you know somebody that's in another Greek organization that's doing great work, nominate them. If you want to nominate yourself, he said you can do that. But, we need to get the word out about Majority Greek magazine and the Pearly Awards. Did I sum it up pretty good?
Absolutely. Perfect job. Only the data would do it. Just find names.
Is there any last words that you want to anything else you want to tell the audience before we end?
Well, again, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing. Again, because you could tell like that it's a heart for people and wanting to see, people do great things. So I think we're in alignment on that. So I appreciate all that you do. I see you working hard. You're doing your thing with True Blue. So I understand the grind and I understand the effort to not only work and do what you need to do for your personal business, but also still have the capacity and willingness to try to put others on the pedestal too. So I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. And like I said, our visions are kind of aligned, right? Because there's so many people out there doing great things and have a lot of knowledge that could advance all of us just to either stretch our thinking or to tap into resources that we didn't know was out there. And this show gives them a platform to do so. So, maybe I can get some of the Pearly Award. Maybe we can do a show about the Pearly Award winners and have them to come on the show and just talk a little bit about themselves and how they enjoyed the Pearly Award. So maybe we can do a show like that.
Yeah, because it's some great, just the Blazing Pearls alone, it's some great folks just on that category alone.
I'm gonna check my schedule because, like I said, it's 2 days before my birthday. So
right.
And see if I can come. But it's crazy. Now I have to check. We were just talking about this before we got on the show. Then now I got to check my calendar because things have just gotten so crazy. But it's a blessing. I'm not complaining.
Absolutely.
All right, Antoinne, you hold on. Listen, I thank everybody for tuning in tonight. It was a great show. A lot of information. Last thing I'm going to say, go to majoritygreek.com and make sure you nominate someone. He's got quite a few categories that you can nominate people that are doing great work in the community. And it's an award show for us, by us, right? Because at the end of the day, Divine Nine is a family. It's a family. And it's a group of people out doing, we may do it different ways, but we all have one goal, and that is to affect positive change in our communities. So I just want to thank you all for tuning in. MajorityGreek.com. Make sure you go nominate, and I hope to see you on June 24th at the show. We're signing off. Antoinne, you hold on. Good night, everybody.